What is up, true art believers? Welcome to another art vlog. It is late. I'm going to do a little bit of drawing and maybe do a little bit more, but I'm going to do about a 5-minute drawing, or actually, it's not even a 5-minute drawing. I'm going to draw for 5 minutes. I'm not going to get a drawing done. When I say I'm going to do a 5-minute drawing, it almost sounds like I'm going to finish a drawing in 5 minutes, and that's not going to happen there, friends. It's just going to be a few lines, and you're not even going to see anything because I'm drawing on top of old drawings. That's how I like to draw, is I like to draw in old sketchbooks, and, well, I like to make things more challenging for myself. I don't really know why I'm drawing on top of old drawings. It's just something I kind of started doing, and, I don't know. I just kind of like the layering of it all. So I'm going to be drawing from a hand from George Bridgman's Constructive Anatomy book, or one of his many iterations or many of his books. He's got like a bunch of books he's got like small books, large books. He just got a bunch of books I don't know that if he's self-published. I don't know George Bridgman personally, so I can't, I don't even know if he's still alive, honestly. I'm gonna have to go look that up. I'm gonna have to go look that up. Well, it is late at night. It's almost 1 in the morning, and which is probably one of the reasons why I'm kind of sounding a little silly, making no sense. And sometimes when you draw late at night, well, things may not go as planned. Anyways, I am doing a late night vlog where I'm just kind of drawing from George Bridgman's Constructive Anatomy book, doing one of his hand studies, and I might add unsuccessfully, and that's okay. I think that's okay. It's okay to fail. It is. When you're an artist and you're drawing, you're going to fail a lot, and if you aren't willing to make errors and make mistakes, it's just going to make the whole notion of what am I? Oh, I know what I did wrong. I just kept adding knuckles. Oh my gosh, like so. I kept adding knuckles. So like he's got like multiple knuckles here. It doesn't make any sense. Okay, so now I see what I did wrong. I was like, why does it look so weird? So you got to be used to this idea of failing and making mistakes, and just moving forward with your artwork, or moving forward with anything that you do. And art is not immune to that. You got to be used to like just making mistakes and pushing forward and trying to course correct along the way. And you can't be afraid to make mistakes if you want to be an artist or you want to improve your art ability. You have to be willing to do things, to be uncomfortable. Essentially, you have to be willing to just put yourself in a position that is makes you uncomfortable. And a lot of times we don't want to be like that. We don't want to be uncomfortable. We want to be all nice and warm in a cozy little comforter, just sitting on sitting on something, sitting down, drinking hot chocolate, and watching Netflix, possibly wearing a Snuggie all warmed up. Snuggie is one of those blankets that they're like blankets with sleeves. I think, wear this in a Snuggie, and you're just super cozy. You're watching your favorite shows on Netflix, and you're just enjoying the time. But when you're drawing or you're doing things like this and you're trying to improve, you just got to get uncomfortable a little bit. You have to do things. You have to be willing to make mistakes. You have to be willing to fail. You have to be willing to put yourself out there. You have to be willing. You just can't. You can't just think about it like, oh, I'll draw later. I'll learn I'll learn a new language later. I'll learn a new instrument later. I'll write my book later. I'll get in shape later. You just, there's no way around it. There is no way around it. unfortunately. You just have to kind of sit down and put yourself in a position that makes you uncomfortable, you know? And that's what drawing is, because a lot of times you're kind of like navigating. You're navigating you're navigating through the drawing, and you're exploring it. You're trying to figure out what you're trying to portray with the illustration, what you're trying to show to the viewer, and it's not always abundantly clear, you know. And there's going to be parts in the phases in the drawing that's going to look bad, you know. Then it's going to look good, and then you're gonna start pushing through some barriers, and then it's going to look bad again. Then it's going to look good again. Then it's going to look bad, and then there's going to be a point where it's just going to look good all the time, you know. That's really what it is. Anyways, that is my 5 minutes. I got a hand in. Actually, I think I'm gonna spend a little bit more time working on it. Let's get this hand kind of finished here, and maybe chat a little bit. But it is late, fellas, friends. It is late. I don't know how much I like this, but this might be the norm for a bit until I get my schedule back in order. I might be doing late night drawing sessions or late night little vlogs of sorts, just so I can maintain this vlog or this drawing habit. Don't know, man. I just don't know. It's really, if you've been watching these videos, man, you've overheard me talk about how like I would get up early to do a vlog, or get up early to do a draw. Now I'm doing it. Now I'm staying up late to do this drawing. Man, I am just flip-flopping everywhere. I'm jumping back and forth. I just can't seem to make up my mind on like what is a workable schedule for myself. And honestly, I wish I could have like a set schedule. I wish I could. But right now, this is what's going to work for a minute. Or maybe a few days. Maybe it might not work for a few days. I don't know. The point being is I'm just trying to set aside some time to do these little videos, set aside some time to do something that is out of my realm of knowledge. And I'm not really great at drawing George Bridgman style like work. And the drawings sometimes are very descriptive, and then sometimes they're very nondescript. They're a little bit too suggestive, and you don't know what George Bridgman was trying to articulate in his drawings. So sometimes it's good to do copies, and that's essentially what I'm doing. Is I'm just doing like these master copies. And if you're wondering why it looks all scratchy and all this jazz, it's just because the drawing itself from his book is pretty sketchy. And that is that. We're bordering on 8 minutes, 22 seconds, and I got to get going, or else I'm just going to start making myself, I'm just going to start being really silly, because it's late. Anyways, thank you so much for watching. You all rock. Cheers.